Great, everybody. My name is Mark. Welcome to MD Ready. Today, we're going to be quickly discussing. I'm not going to really go into the legality of having how you should have your AR pistol set up, but let's kind of talk about some of what I understand. Now, I'm not an attorney, so please do your own research. You can find the information in reference to what I'm going to be talking about if you do a quick ATF search on vertical foregrips, right? So, all in all, I had got a question about first, are AR pistols even legal in Maryland? So, yes. Also, how should you have it set up, right? So, I'm just going to say this. From my experience, you can go and legally purchase AR pistols. It doesn't matter if it's 3 in a blackout, 308, if if that's what you're into, 5.56, 9 mil, whatever it may be, they are legal in Maryland. Now, we have a Maryland roster for a lot of our farms, and if that farm happens to be a copycat or a particular farm that is on the ban list, banned as a 2013, then you're not able to get that farm. Now, what you could do is go buy a lower. You don't need an HQL hanging qualification license to buy a lower. A lower is just pretty much the piece that is not attached to the receiver. So this right here is a lower. You do not need an HQL in Maryland. I'm talking about, and this goes for Maryland, in Maryland to buy a lower. So you can go buy a lower, fill out the paperwork, and when you're filling out your 77R for Maryland, you can actually, where it asks for HQL, you can put exemption or other, whatever it is, click it, and it'll give you a breakdown, like if you're law enforcement, military, retired military, active duty military, retired military, law enforcement, or an AR. What does it say? It says a lower receiver. That's what it says, lower receiver. Boom. So we got that out the way. Now, if you're like me and you try to get a firearm that is considered banned because you didn't see it on the Maryland roster and you submitted a form to have it placed on the roster and it was rejected, you can do what I did. So, for instance, some of you want me to see my Franklin Army Reformation. Okay? So, this firearm is 26 inches because in order to have a vertical foregrip, you have to have overall length. What is it? OAL overall length of 26 inches, and that has to be from. So if you have a folder, this kind of screws you, right? Because somebody has submitted something to the ATF. Well, what if you have a folding buffer tube or brace? You screw yourself. So from the end of this buffer tube to the end of this burrow, and the threads pretty much come up halfway to this linear comp. It's a little over 20. It's like 26 and a half inches or something like that, right? And yes, this firearm is loaded and ready to go, but nothing is inside of the chamber. Oh, have a little bit of issue there. So it is ready to go, but as you can see, little things pointed to safe, so we're good. So this is my Franklin Army Reformation, and the interesting thing about this firearm, I'm not sure why Maryland decided to ban it. So what I did is I built one. I built my lower receiver, and I went ahead and found an upper over Franklin Armory's website, and I put the Reformation on there. So this gun is technically not even a pistol, a rifle, a shot. It's none of that. It is technically a firearm, and it fits the overall length. Plus, it fits the firearm category because it doesn't have rifling in the barrel. It has straight cut lands and grooves. So typically, you'll see rifling you'll see the spiral inside of a barrel. If you look at the projectile when it's been fired and even look down the barrel, of course, from the chamber end, don't look from the muzzle end, right? You'll see that there are some grooves cut. So it's no actual rifling. And the projectile, right? Franklin Army says the projectile is supposed to fly true for like 10 to 15 feet. I found that 2.5 yards, it starts to tumble. Like 2 yards is good, but once you get to 2.5 yards, it starts to tumble. So if somebody wants to put a suppressor on this, you're good to go. I got mine at 5.56 because according to, I saw a video from Military Arms Channel, but even that 7.5, that 7-inch pistol was pushing projectiles at the muzzle at 2,500 feet per second. Now, at 100 yards shooting a rubber dummy, the projectiles barely made it through the back of the dummy. But with a 11.5-inch barrel, which is what, 3.5 more, no, 12.5 something. No, not 12.5 inches. I'm sorry. It's a few more inches longer than the 7-inch barrel. This will give me a little more velocity and allow me to get a little more distance. But man, look, I don't plan to engage anything if I needed to past 25 to 50 yards with this thing, right? Just the good thing is since it barely went through a rubber dummy at 100 yards, you know it's not going to overpenetrate. So maybe a good home defense tool, right? So all in all, getting back on point, the fact of the matter is that according to my understanding, if you have, number one, you can have AR pistols or Merlin, and if it's something that's on the ban list, you can just build your lower, okay, and then order the upper you want. They can't control what upper you get, right? You know, they cannot control what upper you that you decide to purchase. They just don't want you purchasing like a Bushmaster or something like that. A lot of those are banned for silly reasons. But all in all, do understand that you can also put a vertical foregrip on your firearm if it has an overall length from, not from the linear comp, unless it is pinned and welded, right? Because I don't want to show you guys that one because that was for another video, so don't worry about that. So if it's pinned and welded, a pin and welded compensator or muzzle brake, then that counts as barrel length. If it's not pinned and welded, it does not count as barrel length. So if you have a 7.5-inch pistol or 8-inch pistol like this one here, this is an 8-inch pistol. This is a 5.25-inch linear comp on here. Okay, the only way it can be counted as part of the barrel is if I decided to drill a hole in the bottom of it where the threads connect and weld it. And I pinned and welded one a few days ago. So for my M4, I put an extended A2 flash hider in there. So instead of the barrel being 14.5 inches, you put the 2-inch extended flash hider on there, pin it, weld it, and you're good to go. It's permanently a part of the barrel. So all in all, guys, just to kind of keep everybody legal, safe, and in the know, it's good to have AR pistols and Merlin. And you can also put vertical foregrips on it, only if they have an overall length of 26 inches. Guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I should have said that at the beginning of the video. Comment if I missed anything. Please let me know. No worries. God bless you guys. Have a good one, and take care.